Beautiful fish. Here's a very nice rainbow wrasse. Beautiful fish. Well, we're fishing the windward side of the mountain. We're catching all different types of species. Some are good, some are big, some are small. This is a small giant trevally. Not a bad fish for that species, but obviously not what we're looking for exactly. And in comes a pompano and another trevally in a second. Absolutely spectacular morning. I've been fishing for about 45 minutes and I've caught almost every species of fish except for bonefish that I've caught on Christmas Island in the Seychelles. They aren't huge, but they're good sized, and it's out of this world. Here's Sue playing something on the inner reef flats. It's very coral, very heavy coral out there, very difficult wading. And she brings in another a nice snapper. And the next one's a beautiful big brown wrasse that I landed shortly thereafter. There are a few more of these baby reef species that we landed relentlessly all day long. I'm not sure what's coming up here. It looks like we've got another pompano though. Very nice fish. They were everywhere. This is a peek at the inner reef area that we were fishing mostly. What I did at this point was change to a double fly rig. You've got a streamer out back and a little gotcha up front, and it seemed to. And we really don't need to land any other little needlefish, but we. And here's another seaplane coming in with a bunch of passengers. You'll notice how it drifts quite sideways. We had a lot of wind today, and it's being blown way off key, so it'll hit the water shortly. Better fish on the point just above the flats. It's a decent-sized giant trevally. He wasn't huge, but he was a lot of fun. And this is the fly that caught him. It's one of those Avalon keel flies, shrimp keels. This is what's happened to the flats out there. The sand that covered all these flats for almost a mile and a half have been completely eliminated. You can see what was a sandbar. It's now a cobblestone bar out there, and the island far off is about a mile away. We would not be able to walk all the way there. We're continuing to land a variety of species. Some very nice little bluefin trevally, some of those reef babies again, and just a nice variety of fish. Here's another fairly good-sized reef baby grouper. Pompano were everywhere. We'd run into schools of them intermittently throughout the day when we're out in these flats. They're fun, but they kind of remind us of the little bluegills that we catch here at home, although these guys are a lot bigger and a lot stronger. Up our clips of the best fish of the trip, actually. First one looks like a Indo-Pacific permit. It's probably about a 10-pound fish. And right after that, we have a couple of good-sized bluefin trevally that were both in that same size range. Amazingly, they all took a little tiny number 6 bonefish bitters. It would never be recommended for these kind of fish, but it seemed to work very well this day, and we don't know the reason why. Moves on to another fish very close to the end of the island. It was another small but very colorful grouper. I think we probably released at least a half a dozen species of groupers. This is kind of a last view of the coral breakwater along the eastern shore. Very rough wading. It's much more difficult than we've seen in other places we've been, but couldn't fish out in the surf line. It was just too shallow. The last fish of the trip was one of these beautiful little Picasso triggerfish. They're gorgeous coloration.